is Fitz, and I will be your host for tonight. In this series, we will host panel discussions with young people from various career fields, exploring their journeys and impact within their industries. This month is celebrated as the Department of Youth Nevis Youth Month under the theme Youth in Tech, Shaping What's Next. Additionally, we are recognizing TVET Month. With that being said, joined by us are three lovely young professionals, all representing different aspects of this evolving field. Before we dive in, for those who may not know, TVET stands for
Technical, Vocational Education and Training.
This is actually a new addition to my vocabulary, and I felt the need to add it to yours. Free of charge, of course. Now, let's begin. I invite each panelist to briefly introduce themselves, your name, your area of work, and how are you involved in TVET.
So who's going to start? Don't say ladies first as usual. Leave Don. So I start on this side.
Okay, let's start. My name is Don Dyer, and I'm a civil structural engineer at the Public Works Department. I also have a business, an engineering business, which is Dyer's Engineering and Consultancy. And how I fit into TVET, I would say more so on the technical side, right? So the sciences and the application of that to the built environment.
Okay, nice. Ladies now?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Heidi Tyson, a senior agricultural officer at the Department of Agriculture, Nevis. What I do at the department, I manage the area that the propagation unit. We sell different vegetable seedlings and food crops to the general public. And I also manage the Prospect Estate, where we do different crop rotations to make sure there's food security on the island of Nevis. How my area is involved in TVET, as we know, agriculture is a hands-on skill and it involves a lot of technical training and a lot of, as we know, as climate change and things are evolving, we need to adapt to more innovation and technologies in order to tackle a lot of solutions. So that is how we are involved in TVET.
Thank you.
Good day, my name is Inato Steadway Jr. Pemberton, and I also work at Public Works Department. Mr. Dunn is my colleague. I am an architect. I graduated from the University of Jamaica with a bachelor's degree in arts and architecture. I also have my own business by the name of Spades, which stands for Steadway Pemberton Architecture, Design and Engineering Services. So how I am involved in TVET, architecture on its own is very technical. It's a combination of art and technical. That's how you get architecture, right? So we have to know a little about everything. We have to know a little about structure. We have to know a little about agriculture. We have to know a little about electricity. So all of these little technical different aspects of in the technical world comes together to form architecture.
Lovely. We got the best of each world.
Yes.
Thank you all for participating in our panel today. To begin, my question is, what inspired you to pursue this career path, and could you share your journey towards achieving your career? We can start with you.
So my journey began at from a tender age. I always found myself enjoying and loving arts, but I was just naturally talented in that area. But when I was in high school, I actually wanted to be a bank manager. But my mom suggested for me to be an architect. So I was like, I gave it a shot. And I was one of the best in my technical drawing class. And Mr. Marty also inspired me to continue to push on to go to CFBC to continue my journey. When I told my father that I wanted to be an architect, he said that he was not surprised because that part of my family is all technical persons. My father himself, he's a technical person as well. and my uncles and aunties on my father's side are very technical persons.
It runs in the blood.
It runs in the family.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that's how my journey began, and I'm loving it. It's a part of me. I didn't choose it. I think architecture chose me.
Ah,
You know.
wise
Right, that line.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that's it for me.
would you guys like me to repeat the question? or-
Certainly, for me, yes.
Okay. What inspired you to pursue this career path, and could you share your journey toward achieving your career?
Yes, everybody always asks me. I wonder, Heidi, why you choose agriculture? You're the pageant girl. I don't expect you to be doing something like that. But what really inspired me was the change of my diet. I started to incorporate more vegetable-based things into my diet, and then I realized I couldn't find a lot of local fresh fruits and vegetables. And for me personally, the local, they taste more better. The shelf life is more better because there's more quality in the local foods compared to the imported. So for me, I said, you know what? I think I would get involved in agriculture, because before he said he wanted to study another career, but for me I wanted to be a doctor at first. So I studied all the science subjects straight up to sixth form. But when I finished with sixth form, that is when I started to change some lifestyle. And then I said, you know what, since I have the science base, it's basically dealing with plants like a plant doctor, so it wasn't hard for me to get enrolled. So after that, when I was at my job, I got fed up and tired, and I said, you know what, I would like to pursue a career in this area. So at the time, the PS that I was working with, I went to him and I asked him if there aren't any scholarships, because I always think scholarships are a good way,
Yeah.
yes, in order to develop when you get back. So I went to him and I asked him about scholarships. So he said, sure, there are scholarships in agronomy in Costa Rica at Earth University. So I applied right away. It was only like 2 weeks until the deadline, but I actually got accepted.
Wow.
2 of us got accepted here. So for me, agriculture, I did not know much about it. So going to Costa Rica, it was actually the first time actually learning about agriculture, and I had to learn it in Spanish. But the journey was really well because I wanted to come back and work for the department, learn different skills, because working at the department too before, because as I mentioned, I never really did agriculture.
Yeah.
So I gained a lot of skills working with the local farmers, and now I have my own farm. It's called Organic Roots 869. So I produce a lot of organic fresh fruits and vegetables also for my consumers. As I mentioned, organically, so I incorporate of sustainable practices in order for persons to get a healthy consumption of their fruits and vegetables. I've also had many experiences and opportunities in the agriculture area. When I started my farm, I got an opportunity to get grant. I got a grant to help start up my farm, and then I got the opportunity to go to Qatar to explore different sustainable practices, so I can come back here and we can try to see if we can adapt to certain things. So the journey has been really wonderful for me in this area.
Love that for you.
I would like to touch on that when she said that she changed her diet, because I changed my diet too. I realized I was getting really fat. And I noticed it's a lot to do with the processed food, right? And eating from the ground is much more healthier. And eating local foods as well and local vegetables is extremely good for your body. Yes, and it's good to start at a tender age. Don't wait until you get.
I'll wait until next year.
I like to add to that too, because I realized recently my body started to react to certain foods. So I imagine it's probably processed foods and I must not be eating. So.
But that was one other option why I chose it, because of certain medical thing. And when I read up certain things, they say better to change the eating habits, because too much meat and processed food, it can affect certain things. So that was one reason, and I see my health and everything look.
Yeah, you look
good.
nice. You look lovely.
yes.
So are you done?
Yeah, me now. Yeah. So I say my journey is probably a bit unorthodox, because at first I wanted to be a pilot, right? But after I found out that Palace have to be the last person after flight in emergency. So, but yeah, I think I started out at RBTT actually. You know, I was trying to feel around as to what I really wanted to do. You know, and then I went to work at Flow. And during that time, you know, I got injured playing football, right? And I guess you know when you have those down times, your mind start to think, start to wonder what's next for you. You know. So I did some research because you know I always like to build things, figure out how things work, love sciences and what's not. So I did some research around that and I found civil engineering. And that's how I realized like, this is something I could do, I could plan, I could design, I could construct, you know, and plus I always love to see things go up, you know, within like the built environment and those things. So yeah, so when I told my mom, she was asking me for sure, you know, because it's something like completely out the way, you know, because I wanted to do aviation, right? So I said, yeah, you know, I really want to. So she told me, look, start look at schools and what's not, and she'll look as well, you know, and she found Portsmouth University in England. And the course that they offered, it was like an integrated master's degree. So you basically skip bachelor's and get your master's in the end, right? So I did that, I had my master's with distinction,
Okay.
right? So, yeah, thank you.
How long was that?
Yeah, 6 years. Take 6 years, yeah. So, yeah, so from there, I just began to grow a lot more. I had my first job in Trinidad and Tobago, so it was a real, as I say, adjustment going from Nevis to England and from England straight down to Trinidad and Tobago, where I work with a company called EJ Engineering, right? It's there they basically, like I said, threw me over in the deep end and tell me to learn fast, you know, and thankfully I have the mind that could, you know, catch up on things quickly, you know, so yeah, from there, things just been going well, and like I said, I created my business and I came back home about 2 years ago. So, yeah, that's how been my journey thus far.
Lovely. This feels like a melting pot. How inspiring. The next question is, do you think technology affects young people's interest in pursuing a TVET-driven career? Do you want me to repeat it?
Yeah.
Do you think technology affects young people's interest in pursuing a TVET-driven career? Or in your perspective, does it help? Does it enhance it? Or
I would say yeah. It affects them because like excuse me, with AI, right? I find things are becoming a lot more easier to do, and I mean it has its drawbacks there because I find that before the whole AI thing, persons are more, in my field, are more critical thinking,
Yes,
problem solving and what's not. Now with AI, you could just search up anything, and so it removes that process where you have to go through your mind and think for yourself and what's not, right? So yeah, I find it really affects the TVET way where persons more so probably more online based, you know, software, IT, which is not wrong with IT, right?
yeah.
But yeah, I find it takes away that ability to really think for yourself. I find so.
What about you?
Well, for me, coming from the background of agriculture, I think the TVET, it really affects, technology really affects that because it makes the job seem more appealing, more attractive. No more than ever, persons want to make the work more efficient. Currently, in agriculture, there are many techniques and tools that we use in order to make the work more efficient. So I think technology is really a way that it could affect it will really affect persons in terms of getting interest in TVET careers.
That's true. Okay, and you?
Yes, I think technology affects architecture on a whole. It affects me a lot because the software we use, it have to be done with a very strong processing computer. So most of the time I use a gaming computer to do my renderings or a virtual walkthrough of the space that is being designed. And there's also something where you call BIM, where it's building information modeling, right? Where that persons in a technical field can use that to collaborate, work with each other. I learned about that in school, and I also learned about that in my past job at Plexus Architects in Jamaica, where everyone was working on a particular project, but then someone can see it on another computer and make edits. And me and Dan also use that sort of technology where I work on the architecture part of the project and he work on the structure part of the project. So I'm also thinking about buying a tablet, one of the latest tablets.
An iPad?
Yes, an iPad.
You say iPad, it's different.
It was a hard choice between the Samsung and
No, Samsung.
yeah, so with that, I'm also thinking about buying a drone
Okay.
so I can use them both in collaboration where I can take the drone and send it in the sky, take a picture of the land, and then right there on the spot I can just use the tablet and just draw the project or the design and propose it to the client right there and then. And that's how technology can inspire and help architects.
And through technology, it's easier to gain more skills through visual stimulation because, as I say, you have online classes, you can get certification online. So we even can go on YouTube and see how certain equipment and so works. So technology also in that way very affects person in that, so they actually have a view of how certain things are, and you can have a safe way in managing these, having different skills before you actually use it hands on.
Yes.
And
So-
VR as well, virtual
Headset, yeah.
ready headset, you can actually put it on and walk through the space. They have the metaverse. Yeah, so a lot of other things technology can help us with.
That's very true. In today's world, technology influences all aspects of lives, and hearing it from our young professionals, it has its ups and it has its downs. We will now hear from Mr. Tyreek Doer, a young skilled artisan.
Good day. My name is Tyree Doe. I'm currently employed as a skilled artisan at the Nevis Craft House. What inspired me to pursue this profession was it really started as a hobby. I always liked the idea of being able to be hands-on and make my own things. I also fell in love with the idea of being able to design something and then bringing it to life. So that really pushed me towards this. Growing up, my family members used to build things at home, so I would tag along with them and help out. And I really learned over the years what it takes to be a carpenter or a skilled artisan. Well, technology has already started shaping it. I would say that now we have AutoCAD or computer-aided design, as some people would know. We're now able to design something on the computer, print it out, build it. Whereas back then you would have had to stick with your pencil and your paper. So the work is easy now. We also have CNC machines, so you don't have to go around your hammer and your chisel. Maybe in the next 5-10 years we have maybe robots doing it. So it's a very beneficial time, and I would say many persons could pursue it, not necessarily as a carpenter, but maybe as a technician, because you never know what's around the corner. And it's not a gender-specific role, so anybody can do it, male, female, whoever is interested. Once they are comfortable, then sky is the limit. And I always remember, the door is never closed, the hinge is just stuck.
Will be influenced by his words. We now continue. As a young person, how do you believe your career area can influence youth development in Nevis? How do you believe your career area can influence youth development in Nevis? Ladies first.
It's quick and sharp.
Okay.
And concise. Well, in relation to agriculture, what I mentioned in my career, can influence youth development. Firstly, As you know, if you have your own farm, anything, it helps you to be more self-reliant. You could also learn there are opportunities in entrepreneurships. You could use some of your crops that are value added. So that is a way you can have youth development. They also, if there are different community programs or stuff like that related to youth, it helps youth, like community programs in terms of helping farmers and stuff like that. It allows the youth to have more leadership skills, practice to engage and develop more leadership skills, as I mentioned, responsibility and teamwork, because you have to relate to other people. In other words, I think the development can also be influenced in terms of food resilience, having resilience in the country in terms of food. Persons will now able to get, when they develop they will be developing a healthier lifestyle and stuff like that, and will also help to decrease the food import bill. So that will also be something that youths they will develop the youths. I think I kind of answered the question, right?
Yes. And it also enhances community development and all those other stuff. Who would like to go next?
I can go. Can you read the question again?
Okay. How do you believe your career area can influence youth development in Nevis?
Yeah, I'll say it helps with communication. You know, because my job requires me to communicate all the time, whether verbally, written, through drawings, because drawings is where we communicate mostly, right? So I find with that it actually helps young persons to express themselves more, because I find a lot of young persons don't know. You know, if you put a mic in front of them, they shy away. You know what I mean? So I find this, you know, it puts you on the spot, because you have to communicate with a variety of professionals, from architects to, you know, MEP engineers to everyone. You know what I mean? So even the general public, you know, you have to learn how to I won't say dumb it down, but come down to the level and communicate so they understand, right? So yeah, I find it helps with that communication wise, and I find also if they know what how far that you can reach with civil engineering, you know, because I reached to Singapore, right? So it can take you places, right? So I think if they really understand that. My fee within TVET, how far you could reach with it, then I find that should inspire them to know that they can go places.
Sign me up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to touch on what Mr. Daya said, that the career path you choose can take you very far. It took me to Jamaica, where I worked with one of the top firms in Jamaica, Plexus Architects.
Okay.
And it was like another college for me, another university. I learned so much at that workplace. Well, when it comes to architecture influencing the youths, I would say that I have had the opportunity to talk with a lot of students that are in high school, both Gingerland and Charlestown, where a lot of them did not know what is an architect and how to actually become an architect. So I had the privilege of showing them the road that they have to take, the years that they have to do to study. You know, it's not just coming out of high school and just say that you're an architect. You have to put in the work and you have to put in the studies. You know, so a lot of them was influenced by when I actually showed them the renders, this is how the building actually looks. You know, when I was at Gingerland Secondary School for an actual TVET program, I actually showed them a virtual walkthrough of the Culturama village that me and Dandaya work on. Yes. Recently, every year, CFPC send out 2 or more of the top students to work in an architecture area,
Like an internship.
like an internship, yes. And I had the privilege to counsel and guide two top students from CFBC at Public Works Department. Mr. Dande, I met them as well. And when I showed them how to do things and where to do things, they were very, very, very influenced, and they were inspired of how they can push their career further. You know, I spoke to them about their weaknesses and their strength. So I try to work on that with them so that they can be more passionate about their career.
Okay, lovely. Okay, how do you think technology is enhancing or reshaping TVET education and careers? This is similar to a question that we had before. So it's basically asking about technology and how is it enhancing and reshaping TVET overall.
Well, in the aspect of agriculture, it's really important because, for example, technology, we have so many different problems, and technology makes it more easy and efficient to solve some problems. For example, serious problems we have, say you have a pest or disease problem. For example, we have the Lyme, there is the yellowing of the Lyme, the yellowing disease of the Lyme. If we had professionals in that area, which is called biotechnology, you can go into the lab and you could find the specific gene of this plant and try to make it more better and easier rather than just going out and just do visual diagnostics. There are different solutions within the lab, but you have to be real technical. So you have to learn genetics as a course, you have to learn all those courses in order to develop something like that. So I think that technology, it makes the work more efficient for us. Sometimes with drones, just so you use drones. We also use drones in agriculture for surveillance, for doing surveys. There are also data diagnostics with the drones by using what you call it? I can't come to my mind right now. But it's like a sensor thing. So
Like LiDAR.
yeah.
LiDAR, okay.
Yeah, so if you,
What
this is my
sensors?
plot,
LiDAR.
this is my plot, I fly the drone over it and it can detect and sense, okay, this area is infested with different fungus or pests, so we can just focus on this area. So they create more precision in farming and stuff like that. So technology, but we need awareness and people talk about certain things, because currently on the island of St. Kitts Nevis, I went to a workshop the other day, they said they have a lab, but they have labs, they have equipments, but they don't have anybody who know how to operate those equipments. So there are a lot of avenues in agriculture to make productivity more better in the area of technology, because that is where we are going now. I have a colleague that he went to Taiwan 2 weeks ago and he came back with so much knowledge, but we don't know anything about sensors, we don't know anything about and it makes the job more easier. So for me, I think technology plays a real impact now that we have the climate change and stuff like that we want to make, and we have so much increase in the population, we need more food, so we have to find different ways for efficiency in the area, and technology really enhance that.
Now, this is a great way to share or spread awareness, actually.
So
have the
personally,
platform.
go and study biotechnology is like, because we really need that. Because for me, if I have the chance to go to do my master's, I will actually do it in some area like that. So because I've actually worked with extension farmers, we go to the farm, we check, we diagnose a problem, but we don't have real solid solutions. So if we have this technology, I think it will be easier for us to have more efficiency.
Nice.
Wow. Yes, you heard it.
I learned so much just now.
I know, right? I'm trying to process this right now.
Yeah,
Would you like to
give
go?
me the question, yeah?
Okay, the question is, how do you think technology is enhancing or reshaping TVET education and careers?
Well, I say for me, I use drones. Nothing as advanced as yours, but I'm hoping to get there, right? But with me, my drones, it takes the risk out of my job. You know, because my job requires working at heights. I don't like heights, so it helps me a lot. So working at heights, you know, around, you know, moving heavy equipment and what's not. So it takes me out of that, so I can just do a flyover, so I could check, you know, progress, you know, project, you know, percentage to completion and those type of things. So yeah, I said drones. That's my assistant. So it helps me a lot, you know, when it comes to in regards to enhancing the technology. The drone I want to get though is the one that takes measurements of lands, and you can actually identify columns in buildings, if there are cracks and those things. I could detect moisture and what's not. So yeah, that is the direction I want to go.
Very interesting.
But I have to make acknowledgement to the fact that you wanted to be a pilot, but you don't like heights.
I love flying. I love flying. Just that I find planes are actually much safer, right?
Okay.
Because in terms of something called factor of safety, please, engineers out there, forgive me. I think factor of safety is about 2, I think.
You're
So in terms of safety, so it should be higher, but the fact that the airspace is so safe, that's it give me that surety that, you know, I can be in a plane with no worries, you know.
Okay.
Like they said, that's the safest means of transport.
Yes.
Really? There's a
Yeah,
lot?
you hardly hear.
You hardly hear
I'm
any
learning so
incidents,
much.
Yeah.
I'm
But
learning
you
so
hear
much.
traffic incidents mostly
Yeah,
every day.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, we have you.
Yes. When it comes to technology and architecture, it's a steady growth based on what is available. So when I was in high school, I had to do technical drawing on my hands, right? So they actually add a part in the CXC syllabus that they do some part of technical drawing on AutoCAD. So I had the privilege of learning AutoCAD when I was at CFBC, but now they're doing it in high school. So that is great.
Yes, that's
Yeah, that's how one aspect of it. Another aspect of it is 3D printing. So we as architects, we usually design a physical model, right? So when I was in university, I had to actually build the building, like a small version of it.
Like manually and
Yeah,
everything.
manually build it with
What did you use?
stencil knife, paper, glue. Yeah,
You see why technology
Yeah.
important, and nobody
Glue
wants to
gun,
do
right?
that kind
Glue
of
gun,
work.
right?
Well, the glue gun,
I was just gonna ask if you had that back then.
the glue gun.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to the models, they have to be as
Smooth.
Smooth as
Yeah,
possible.
Smooth as possible.
so. The glue gun was a no-no.
Okay.
For us.
Hacky.
We had to put the glue there and then use a small thin piece
Wow.
of paper and then stick it on top of the
It's tedious.
thing and then join it together.
And that was
Like a
for
clean
school?
finish.
Yeah,
That was for school?
Yeah.
But they don't do that now. As I
Yes,
said, they do.
yes, they still do that. But what I find in a lot of areas is that they have a 3D printer that can actually print the whole design from
Base too.
come up,
Yeah, okay.
right? And they even take it further now where they have machines that can do a whole building. 3D print a whole building based off of the design and everything off a computer. So what it does is a layer of concrete. Concrete go by layer by layer by layer, and then it goes around the whole building. And that is being done today. And other aspect where technology has influenced architecture is where they have an open room and they actually put the floor plan in the open room and you can actually walk through the space physically. And you that is connected with the via headset and then virtually you walk through it.
What?
Yes, so you can do some research on that. Dan, I thought you know about these things,
No,
but
I
like
think
you
I
have
think
to
I
do
think
some
I
research.
Yeah,
I know
we're all
about
learning.
I know about the one with the concrete.
Yeah.
Pour out to build
Yeah.
homes and so on. I know about that, but
Yeah.
the walk to the building with the EV, I don't know.
Yeah.
Technology is so advanced.
So
Wow.
so advanced. So as time goes by, it's gonna get better and better over time. Yeah.
That's true. It is so interesting to hear how things has evolved. We will now pause again to hear from another youth professional in TVET, Miss Itansesha Samuel, a mechanical engineer.
Season greetings. My name is Itante Samuel. I am a mechanic at Four Seasons Resorts. My interest started from young. We all rode bikes, and of course, always needed fixing. Watching how things were repaired, the tools, the process, it really caught my attention. After high school, the big question is always, what's next? I wanted to do something I enjoyed and passionate about. So I took a leap of faith and enrolled at CFBC for automotive mechanical engineering. Honestly, it was one of the best experiences. Hands-on work, new tools, new technology. It really felt natural to me. I see technology as a helpful tool. It makes diagnostics issues easier, and vehicles nowadays are becoming more electrical. But at the end of the day, my hands are still needed at actually fixing the problems. So technology helps, but it doesn't replace the mechanics.
Was wise words from Itancia. It is very eye-opening to see young females in the mechanic field. Now, moving along, what advice would you give to anyone, especially young viewers, considering TVET career, particularly in today's tech-driven world? Any advice for
For-
persons like me?
Well, for me, I would say in any career you choose or anything, learn the technology because it makes you more valuable in the area and the career, the position you're working at, and also never be afraid of failures because in such areas, in technical areas, you always make some type of mistakes, but you have to learn from them. And I think those are my 2 cents that I have to give.
Okay, that's a nice.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off what she's saying. Yeah, you have to learn from your failures and what's not, so you can actually advance and be more valuable. As Heidi said. So and also to have an open mind. To learning and always continue learning. You can't get enough of learning. I myself is still learning my career as I go on. So yes, I have an open mind and just continue learning.
Thank you, and you?
Yes, I would
Piggyback as well.
piggyback as well. Yeah, don't be afraid to try new things in your career choice. I myself is still learning. I'm actually learning two new programs that how I can enhance my architecture visually and be open to try new programs, do research, talk to people who have already went through the path, and different things like these. Always, once you're passionate about something, try to figure out how you can make it easier for yourself.
And make a name for yourself.
And make a name for yourself. You see, when you do that, it makes you more marketable.
Yes,
and makes you
that's
stand out from the average person. Always show a great interest in what you want to do.
Well, off paper, seeing that you guys mentioned some difficulties and to never give up. Is there any difficulties that you guys experience that you would like to share? A lot of giggles, so that is yes.
Well, Architecture, it's very, very, very time consuming. At my time in CFBC, I had some days where I didn't sleep at all for like 3 days. No sleep without no sleep. 3 days straight. Just work. Same thing in Jamaica. You know, sometime in university you might not have all the monies that you need to be successful, but you have to look at that end goal. You know, I had days where I ate one meal per day and I had to make that last for the whole month.
Trust me.
You know, and that's when I actually learned about water fasting. Yeah, water fasting. Yeah, I actually learned that by not having enough stuff to last. I got a lot of fight, even some of my own peers, because I noticed a lot of them realized that I was just pushing ahead, and they
That
was
should be a
wondering.
motivation.
They were wondering how do I get to do that? You know, how I get to excel?
Because you were water fasting.
It came naturally because of my talent,
Yeah.
and
And it's in your blood as well, as you
it's-
mentioned.
It's in my blood, and I actually had the privilege of being a tutor in university, and after I did that, a lot of other students came along. In my apartment alone, sometimes I have like 6, 7 persons overlooking, and I'm doing my work and I'm helping them with their work as well. So never give up.
Never give up.
Never give up. One thing about architecture, what I like when I present my work to someone and they actually smile. I put a smile on their face, you know, and this is when I do a house, I actually think about this is where someone is gonna spend maybe the next 50 years of their life.
Yeah, the
You know,
famous.
so I just try to make it as perfect as I can for the person.
Oh.
You know, so
That's important to an architect because if I hire you to do my design, this is like my lifetime. I have to make sure, you have to make sure
Yeah.
everything is good.
Yes,
If not,
yes.
don't bring me now.
Yeah.
so you have to visualize it and put yourself in your mind in that space and walk through that space, how the space feel, different colors, how the colors would affect the sunlight coming into the room, the cross ventilation, how the room is being cooled, how is the artificial light versus the natural light affect the mood, affect the space, affect the person. How does the building cool? Should it be when you wake up in the morning, should the sunshine hit your bedroom? Should your bedroom be on a north?
Yeah, you're really passionate because some people don't actually put those into consideration.
No,
And
no,
then when everything done built, it's like, oh my God, no, this one I come in.
Yeah.
So you have this discussions with the persons, right? And you let them see your standpoint.
Yes, I always try to. I mean, some people are stubborn and want to stick in their ways, but if you show them what they want and then you show them something that is better, then they would come to an agreement, or they would maybe lean to your idea more than what they was visualizing all the time.
And all thanks to technology, you can also
All
show
th-
them.
Yes, all thanks to technology. Yeah.
Okay. I would assume you guys have
Is it
forgot the
challenges?
question.
Challenges, you said?
Yes, challenges. Yes.
Well, one of my, let's say, main challenges for architects, architects and contractors, because I find, well, we butt heads a few times, over designs. Architects and engineers tend to clash.
Yeah.
So
But we actually work together.
yeah,
Yeah, we work together, but we clash sometimes.
we clash,
Yeah.
but yeah, I find it's difficult working with some designs architects, because they really, must I say, it's like they're forcing a design which really cannot work, right, for the engineer standpoint, right? So I try to sometimes remind him, hey, you know, you have to change this because this will happen and so forth. But I'm glad you mentioned stubborn, right? Because architects are, I find, stubborn. I don't like to really change much, right? But yeah, architects and contractors, because contractors sometimes, some contractors don't know how to read plans, then they tend to mess up on site, and then they say it's your fault. When you go on site, they say you didn't follow the drawing. Whose fault is it then? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I find those are my main challenges within my field. I find.
You know, recently an engineer messaged me, just out of the blue, you know, he said, Stadwai, you're one of the architects them that want to cantilever 20 feet? I'm like, no, sometimes what I do, I try to make the structure as easy as possible for the engineer, because I know that their work is very technical and hard. So if it's a grid system every 10 feet, and I don't like columns at all,
You see?
you know, but I try to fix the problem technically so that the engineer it will be easier for the engineer.
You see, in university, we call engineers dreamers.
Oh.
You know, because they could come up with something and say, hey, work with this, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
It's like expecting the unexpected.
Right. So they really, I mean, they do help us to be better engineers, right? Especially if the design is really complex, right? So you do, I guess that's the drawback, you know. I mean, that's how it, I mean, the takeaway from it is that you develop your engineering skills better, right? So that's my takeaway from it.
Okay. Any challenges for you?
Challenges, well, as you mentioned, you know, there are a lot of advancing technology and innovations, and we don't have funding and finance for certain things, so that's a challenge. And something simple but might be challenging for a few if you're not an early riser. You have to get up early every morning because I'm the manager of the
What
the
time?
field. By 6:30, 7 o'clock, you have to be there at the field. So if you're not an early riser, it's going to be a bit challenging for you. So basically every day I'm at work for 7:30. So I think that's
So
it.
let me up at 4,
5,
5.
5, 6.
So when you get up early, what do you do in the field?
Well, when it comes to crop production, it's better to do it early in the morning because there's less sun, and you know, being outside in the heat, it makes it more difficult. So it's better early rise, get everything to do. So if I'm doing planting of watermelon today, we just get up early, we sow. If you're harvesting today, you get up early and you make sure you get that out of the field before the sun starts to blaze by 11, 12 o'clock.
Yeah, and I think I read that you have certain time of the year which is better for planting and better for harvesting. I know a little about agriculture. We have crop rotation. You plant one aspect in one area, and then you leave that for a while, and then you plant other type of crop in that area, and that is like a form of crop rotation.
Yeah, and that helps to break cycles in like pests and diseases and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So that's why people always recommend crop rotation.
Yeah, because certain pests only damage certain crops, and the crop rotation would help with
Break the
killing-
cycle.
break the cycle. Yeah.
So you guys ever struggle with land space, and like to think about like so farming vertically? You ever thought about that? Because I know
Most farmers right now on the island, they are traditional farmers, so in order to really get them into that, you have to really, like, as you say, give them an example, and if it really seems like it's better than theirs, then they might take the initiative to start something like that. But in terms of that, we need like financing.
Yeah. So then you saying that most of them are traditional. Would you say that there isn't a lot of farmers that are on the tech side?
Not most of them, no. So now that's why we want young people to get involved. And now
Yes,
agriculture is just not manual, use the hoe, bam bam. There are a lot of different areas you could develop yourself. If I have my farm before time, people used to use how to plow up, but you have a tractor. There are seeders you could use to sow the seeds and stuff like that. So I'm encouraging young people, you know, because the
This is
country
a platform.
developing and we want healthier foods here on
Yes,
the island,
yes,
okay?
So I saw something where you said vertical.
Yeah, vertical farming. Yeah.
So it's like a pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's hydroponically you could
Yeah,
do
right.
it.
Hydroponic. Yeah. So all of that is technology.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
Greenhouse technology, hydroponic technology, everything.
yeah. So what do you do? In the pipe you put in the dirt, and then right around the pipe we have different holes that you can actually put the plant inside of the pipe, and then it just goes out instead of actually
And you could use water too.
and
Soil
water.
or water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just use
yeah,
water and
Yeah, hydroponics.
yeah, very, very interesting.
Yeah. Now let's touch base with Tibet. This question is kind of lengthy, so you can drink your water.
Really?
Yes,
There's only
sure.
one question.
So, Tibet has traditionally been associated with hands-on trades like carpentry and mechanics. However, we now see technology transforming these fields. Could you tell us about some technology or equipment you have used over the years in your respective fields and how they have evolved? And basically, we almost just touched on that when we started to talk about the different options, but you can continue.
Okay, well, I guess I could start with the drafting side of things, the drawings, because when I started out with AutoCAD, Stella actually taught me AutoCAD. It was at Public Works.
What's that?
It's a drawing, like a drawing software. Instead of drawing on your hand, you draw on your computer. Yeah. So from that, I then moved from AutoCAD to more Revit. Revit is also you draw, but is more integrated, right? And you could also facilitate BIM, which is Building Information Modeling, through that, right? So we, as you explained, he's working on a model. I can also come in and design work on that very same model. And if there's any clashes, it would identify any clash detections with, especially with other technical fields and what's not, right? So there's that with the drafting side, and plus, like I said, the drones. Yeah, that's something that I'm really interested in because I really want to, enhance my business. So I offer more, to the general public.
What about everything?
Right, exactly, right. So yeah, and also with structural analysis software, because before I still do calculations on hand, right? So I do have a book, my little black book, where I have a lot of calculations, equations, and what I work from, right? So is that, and then you could transfer that over into analysis software like Robot or Grasshopper or StatPro. So there's a lot of software out there that you can use that would also help to enhance your work.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, to touch on the drone, I remember when I was doing some surveying, and I used to have to take the prism, but now they have actually a drone that can detect the slope of the land, and then from the detect the slope of the land, they would send it to me, and then I would just develop it in Revit in 3D dimension. But before, they just gave me lines and I had to plot the lines then.
Right.
And then with Revit too, I learned that you could actually use that program to analyze the building in terms of fire escape. And you know that the fire you could analyze it for fire escape, and you could for heat thermal volume as well. So you would know if this room will be too hot, if you would know if this room needs more light. When people comes into a room, they give off heat. So then the program will tell you if you would need more AC in the room, a higher unit. All of that is done in Vivid. It's a very, very, very nice and software.
Yeah, really intelligent software.
Yeah. A device that I use is a laser measuring tool. Yeah, that has made my work very easy. Before, you used to have to take a tape from here to there to measure the room. But with the laser now, the laser, you actually just put it on the wall, press a button, and it gives you the dimension of the room.
And you think it's accurate?
Yes, it's accurate.
See,
I
I
can
have
check it.
trust issues. I have to check myself.
Yeah, so the laser technology has improved over the years.
Wow.
Right now, there is actually one for tiling. They actually put it in the center of the room, and then it would laser up the whole room so that they can lay the tiles them in sequence. And you could set the level of the laser in a room when it comes to shelving and bathroom and electrical work and all of that. So that is a way how technology help the work to be much easier.
Yeah.
Well, in simple forms with agriculture, there are many techniques and technology that involve that makes it work more efficient. Simply, back then we used to irrigate our plants with just the hose. Now we have irrigation system. You can hook up a fertigator to it. So instead of manually going out and fertilize, you could just add the fertilizer in a tank, and crops get you get fertilized just like that through a system called fertigation. There are also my mind is slipping a bit right now.
That's fine.
Question, in architecture we have something what you call sustainability, right? Where in agriculture, you actually store the water that comes off of the roof, and then you use that with the same technology when it comes to watering the plants.
And they have sensors for them too. So, for example, if your soil is not moist, they have moisture tests, and they have sensors in order. So once the soil is dry, the sensor just picks up that, and this drip irrigation that automatically turns on. So you don't really have to go on and turn on the drips.
So the
and stuff.
sensor is actually in the soil.
The sensor, yeah, and in the area in the soil, because you have to detect the moisture and stuff like that. So you don't have to go and monitor the soil, text moisture all the time. There are equipments and
We have
tools.
that technology right now.
Yeah, the people in greenhouses use them. Yeah.
And with that too.
As I said, the farming is more traditional. We're trying to get more person. That's why you want young people to get involved and know these technologies and skills, so we could pass them on for the future.
Yeah, and also you guys use solar panels.
Yeah, solar panel,
panels.
especially for the monkey system, the shark fence system. Most of them, the electricity powered by solar. So
Yeah, prevent the monkeys from coming.
Instead of using the live current, which would be illegal. So we have a solar panel to power the fencing, so it helps deal with the monkey problem that we have here.
Yeah. What about windmills? We have windmills on the farm and stuff like that.
No.
That's a form. You could use that to generate electricity as well.
Yeah, but as I mentioned, financing and stuff like that is kind of difficult. Yes, everything takes, especially the technology and stuff like that, they take a lot of financing. So that's why people have to go out and see if they get grants and stuff like that. They really to develop what they want.
Nice.
We have seen how technology has advanced different TVET sectors. We will now hear from Miss Clarissa Rudgman, a certified nail technician and massage therapist, who will share some short remarks.
Nice.
My name is Clarissa Rajman, and I'm a certified and licensed nail technician and a massage therapist. I realized I had a passion to do nails at a young age. One day I asked my mom to purchase a nail kit for me. After that, I started doing my nails every Saturday. Eventually, my friends asked, "Who did your nails?" I said, "Me." I got the opportunity to start doing their nails in practice, And I realized, you know what? I can make my passion into my business. In the future, I see technology making our industry more efficient with better booking apps, digital client tracking, and safer products that improve both massage therapy and nail services.
Open the floor for questions from viewers, and I'll start with Heidi. This question is dedicated to you. Can you share the most significant challenge you faced and the most meaningful reward you've experienced while managing your own farm?
Challenges I've mentioned all evening, financing, because I had to start up my farm from scratch, so it was a bit challenging to do that. But however, I got a grant, as I mentioned, because you have to do research and stuff in order to see if you get finances, because people are not just going to give you money like that for agriculture.
Unfortunately.
Yes, because it's a kind of risky career, so persons don't really, like banks and institutions don't really give loans for that. So that was a challenging part for me. Another challenge is finding the time to actually be on my farm all the time, because it's a bit time consuming. Because I work with the Department of Agriculture, time is of an essence for me, but in the farm, I think I need to spend more time there in order to have more crop productivity and more food on my farm. So for me, that's a challenge in this time. Also, I've had some problems with pests and diseases, but I have to do a lot of research and investigation, because I mentioned I only do organic farm. I don't apply a lot of harsh chemicals to my crops. So the pest and disease has been a challenge, but I always research and try to find different avenues in order to combat these pests and diseases on my farm.
Any rewards that you have received?
For rewards, I've received monies, because I'm an entrepreneur, because I'm self-produced, and I receive monies.
Do you sell to any of the supermarkets? Or?
I have my own personal clients, and I sell my produce to the marketing division that the government has.
Okay.
And every week, every 2 weeks, I probably get a check based on how much I send in. And also, I've got opportunities in going to different islands, because at the department, as you said, there are different innovation and techniques each day. So there are different workshops I've been to in St. Lucia, Barbados. As I mentioned, I went to Qatar for 2 weeks, and I learned a lot. So there are a lot of opportunities in going away and learning and seeing different things.
You have a new client, eh? I'm gonna patronize.
Me too.
Right now I have okra and seasoned peppers, and I just sowed some cucumbers.
Oh, I love cucumbers.
Yes, so by December I should have cucumbers available.
Okay.
Nice.
Make sure to save some for me. Instead, Roy, question for you now. People often assume TVET is just hands-on, dirty work, and forget that there's a strong academical side. What would you tell someone with that mindset?
Read the question again.
People often assume that TVET is just hands-on, dirty work, and forget there's a strong academic side. What would you tell someone with that mindset?
That is not true at all. It's not true.
It's not true. You heard it from him.
Yes, so as you can see, all of us here went to university, and that's very academically inclined. So I would say to that person, don't always be stuck in a box to think that TVET is only hands-on. There is many other aspects other than architecture, engineering, agriculture. There's electricity, there is HVAC, there is mechanical. So all of these are different aspects of TVET, and we are speaking about technology, how it helps us along our way, how technology and TVET is correlated with each other. So I think that answered the question.
Yes, I think so as well. Is there anything you would like to share to inspire those?
What I can say is that when you have a passion, it doesn't have to be architecture. Once you have a passion, always try and make your career revolve around that, and it makes your career easier and it makes your life easier.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. You mentioned AI and how young people rely on it. Do you use AI in your work, and do you see ways it could be useful in your field?
Yes, I do use AI. More so for, let's say, if I'm trying to um, build upon an assumption of something I already have, because my work is a lot of assumptions I have to make, right? But really good assumptions, so like top 90% assumptions, right? So I do use AI for that to see if I'm on the right path with other information out there on the
As a
internet.
guidance.
Right, as a guidance, right. AI, wait, could I repeat it again? Let me just make sure.
You mentioned AI and how young people rely on it. Do
Right.
you use AI in your work, and do you see ways it could be useful?
Okay, yeah, useful part, yeah. Yeah, I can. Depends on how you use
Yeah,
it.
depends on
on
how
how you
you
use
use
it,
it.
right? Like, you don't want to be too over reliant on it,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I would say use it as just a guide, not your source of information, right? Because like I said, it really takes away from the true heart of the thinking process through it, right?
And it takes away the creativity as well.
Takes away the creativity,
and the
right?
human
Yes.
aspect of it as well.
And
That's
that
true.
too, right, you know, you're right, yeah.
And it's
So
creating lazy mindsets.
that's what I was
That's true.
getting to. That was
Yeah.
getting to. Yeah.
No,
You
no
become
problem
lazy, yeah.
solving.
I
Nothing
may not be
anymore.
no
in the
problem
field you
solving,
guys
yeah.
are in, but I'm into poetry, and trust me, it just takes away from the
Mm,
rawness and
right,
You know?
right.
but it also can be helpful because it can give you ideas.
Mhm.
But then some people overuse it.
Overuse it. Right,
Yes.
right. I mean, AI is limited because I have tried it to say, design whatever for me,
It
and
doesn't.
it only
It's
it
not
only
us.
yeah, it only gives the outline of what it doesn't really go into the real raw. So I'll say yes, it's good to use it as an assistant,
yeah.
a guide, not to
Just
as a
give it
friend
your
company.
work and
yeah, to completely replace your thinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you. You ready for another question?
No.
Okay, so we're gonna ask a general question. In your view, what sets TVET careers apart from more traditional careers?
Tradition in terms of like doctors and
Like, yeah, doctors.
You have doctors, you have lawyers.
And in your perspective, you may be looking at how some farmers, they're still in the traditional way as opposed to using technology and all those other stuff. In your view, what sets TVET careers apart from traditional careers?
Oh, okay.
Well, I can speak for CFBC, where they actually have TechVac, which is closely related to TVET. So a lot of the technical part of it is in one section, and then the teachers and the doctors and the lawyers is more on a other section, which is the main. So they do general studies where their syllabus is straight on and hands on, but when it comes to the technical part of it, a lot of the hands on doesn't really apply to the technical part of it. Even I can use COVID as an example. Many other courses could have been taught online, but when it comes to the architecture part of it, I had to fly back to Jamaica during COVID time to go to face-to-face classes because it's just that technical aspect that cannot be really get through online, you know, relating to each other, networking, talking, and sharing your ideas, showing how a drawing looks on the wall rather than showing how the drawings look on a computer is completely different. So I think that's a good example of how you separate the TVET from the other aspects of
And to me, these careers in TVET are more fun because you get to go to different areas. You're not just stuck in one area, so you're able to
You
be
get to
versatile,
multitask
be
and-
versatile and get to meet and greet other people because you're not just stuck in one area. With architect, you go around.
it's an adventure.
Yeah, it's an adventure for us. So it's like it really makes a difference.
It's not the same thing over and over and
yes.
over.
I mean, what I would say as well too with TVET is that, well, with the other careers is that they're easily replaceable by robots and AI, right? Whereas with TVET, you still need us to do things, you still need a human interaction to carry things out. So I find, let's say, customer service, for example, easily replaceable, right? No offense to customer service people out there, but it's easily replaceable, right? So
Yes.
I would say, as an advice to TVEC, is that you have that your job is safe, right?
Secure.
Secure, right? So you don't have to worry about waking up one morning that your job is gone because of robots and what's not. So I find TVET that separates from regular jobs.
And it helps to create new career paths as well. So
To give more options. For you, what unique perspective do you feel women bring to agricultural spaces and decision making? Very good question, caller.
what unique perspective do you feel? Remembering. Well, I don't want to boast on women, but women, agriculture is a job that nurtures and delicacy. So women, I think we play a major role in that area, especially when it comes to certain organization. When it comes to farming, you have to do a lot of data collection and stuff like that. So female, I think we are more organized in terms of getting the certain things done, especially of the delicacy of certain areas in agriculture. What do you ask about
Decision making.
So what I can say, we women in decision making, now more than ever, you see women are taking up these roles in decision making, and I think that that question is a bit kind of tricky. I'm not really sure how I should answer that one.
Well, there's any more questions for each other or anything, any comments to be made?
Well, when it comes to the woman aspect of agriculture, my sister is also in agriculture. She teaches at the Gingerland Secondary School. And she did something that I've never seen before, where the students actually had to raise a whole chicken for their SPA, and they had to actually slaughter the chicken and sell it. So I had the opportunity to actually purchase one of the chickens and cook it for Christmas. Yes. So yeah, I think because most of my agriculture teachers were women,
Oh, okay.
Miss Reed, and I think they are very influential when it comes to agriculture because some of them like to plant flowers, so I think they go hand in hand. Planting flowers and planting crops, they just have
they
the
go hand in
nurture
hand.
to grow.
That's the final views.
For me.
Okay, well, that's a wrap, folks. I want to thank our incredible panelists for sharing their experiences and insights, and thank everyone for tuning in today. Be sure to catch our next episode where we will discuss another engaging topic, and we all say good
Good night.
night.